European Water Framework Directive, and for this reason, the water management is organized by watershed. This is a result of a legal administrative framework. So the watershed gestion finds the origin, and I think it's important to say it, in the history of the French colonies. So this is interesting because for the current impact of actor games, it's something very interesting when we work about gestion of water. And in an island where the superposition of actor is given impact, so it is the impact of the history, and it's something I think is very important. So and maybe this part is perhaps more palpable than elsewhere in the island. So Martinique is territory subject to all climate risk. We have hurricanes, we have earthquakes, we have probability of volcano eruption one day, we don't know. We have erosion, we have tsunami, so it requires strong resilience for adaptation to climate changes. And then in this case, we can say that European Water Framework Directive can give us some benefits. I mean, it gives us some high ambitions for the protection of water, of aquatic environments, and for the watershed gestion. You have to know that we have an obligation, like every European countries, to have a water planning master plan for the grants, because if we don't have that, we're not able to have grants by colleague the European community. So, but it gave us two interesting key for governance organization, and it obliged us to have constrained objective, but we have inconvenient, and in this case, this framework designed and was designed and laid by and for the European continent, but we are Caribbean, so sometimes it could oblige us. Sorry, sorry. That's okay.
No, we should just, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Ah, okay. So, so it forced us to work to adapt us. For example, for the environmental quality indicator, they have been found for continental rivers. So when the temperature of a river in the continent is not a good thing when it's higher than 20 degrees, for us it's better that when the river's temperature is more than 24 degrees, for example. So we had to work about that adaptation. And moreover, we can note that there are many lack of our specificities. I mean, mangrove, for example, is not considered like a European ecosystem, so and then this is a Caribbean cooperation project led by Martinique, with the Cuban, with the Dominican, with the Saint Lucian, with the Guadeloupe, and it responds to the Caribbean sanitation emergency with a nature-based solution. We make some wastewater treatment by plants with heliconias, birds of paradise, you know, these beautiful flowers. So this is a typical technical adaptation. We're sharing our know-how between the tropical islands, and then this is an ecological system, economic system, climate resilient system, and this is a technical and political cooperation. I say political cooperation because this is the case. People have to feel like working together for a cooperation, successful cooperation. So this is this cooperation between neighboring islands highlights a need to work together to find way together to adapt to climate change and the environmental needs we share. So West Indies are composed of small territories, independent states, as you said, and then the network of water stakeholders exists yet, and the cooperation is a fundamental necessity to face to this challenge. It also makes it possible to federate the means. Then we have to fight against cyclones and climate change. It forces us to responsiveness and provision of resources. So Caribbean Island Network is yet at work, like the GWPC it exists the same for Mediterranean. And then, but I just think that French islands are too much turned towards Europe and not enough to our neighbor for the moment. And then it should search more Caribbean, we should search more Caribbean connection. But this is due to the choice of the French status post-colonization. So I see, sorry. And then, so, so our way to manage water is directly linked to the history, and this is a very important point. Then just to come back to the status of islands, so island requires autonomy management, you explained very well just before. So it could, or we could, or we should drive to a strong resilience on that fact. Other characteristic of island is that we have a short land-sea link, so a shorter cycle of water, so we have strong impacts. And then we have low self-purification of rivers, for example, and higher impact in coastal line. So, and we have sensitive and fragile ecosystem like corals. You know that coral is so important for the world, really, all the world. And so, yes, that's okay. Okay, so I will just finish saying that that currently we are working on climate adaptation. We are learning to walk by walking. Aimé Césaire, he's a Martiniquais, say that we have to, the policy of the small steps. So for the islands we need small steps, and we need to have people to bring that mentality, and I really agree with what you said just before. So I could talk many hours on the subject, so thank you very much.